Hello, I'm Tomas of Cymru Mail Outlet Extreme, and today I'm here with...
I'm Matt McGachy, the vocalist of Cryptopsy. Happy to be here with the Toms.
Very nice. All right, how you doing today?
I'm good. Having a nice first. I think it's our first time here in Swansea. We've used to always play Cardiff in the Welsh area, so we're excited to experience something new today.
Very nice. All right, let's get into it. So, you've been the vocalist since about 2008. The band started in 1988. God damn it. How did you first come in contact with the band, and was there any difficulty in joining one that had been pre-established for such a length of time?
It was definitely not an easy feat to jump into. The band wanted something completely different. Having the return of Lord Worm for once was not in the 2000s, 2005, 2006 era of Cryptopsy. They wanted to do something completely different, so they hired a metalcore vocalist, not a deathcore vocalist. I was in a metalcore band, and I had to step it up and try to perform the best extreme metal album that I could put out at that period of my life. And that's what I did for The Unspoken King. That's where I was at vocally at the time. And if it wasn't for that record, I wouldn't be here now.
Very nice. You've been touring with the band for a while now. What would you say is the best tour the band's had, and for what reasons?
Oh, there's a bunch of different reasons why tour is good. Mostly it has to do with the people that are around you. So vibe-wise and bands that we really get along with. We've toured with Atheist twice in the past year. Those are great tours because they're just wonderful humans. Turnout and just being on tour with legends. You can't beat Cannibal Corpse and Obituary that we did back in 2016 with Abysmal Dawn as well, which is where we met James. So those two are high up there in my mind. I like to go play in Japan. Japan is probably one of the most destabilizing places to be on the planet because it is so just not Americanized. It's a very interesting experience going to Japan.
Very nice. That's good. As well as applying your talents to Cryptopsy, you also did guest vocals on the aborted song Hellbound.
I did.
How did that experience come about?
I think Sven was just had asked all his friends, and he had just no idea for the last one, and it was me.
Oh.
No, I've known Sven for a long time, and I was stoked that he invited me because I have on a full tour gone up and done guest vocals on a track. I can't remember the name of the track. It was the track that Grimo from Cytotoxin is on. From Retro Gore, I believe, is the album, or Terror something. And Terrorvision, maybe that record. And I would go up and do it every night, and I always teased Sven that I feel like our voices work well together, and that I would love to be on a record one day. So when he asked me, it was an easy yes.
Oh, that's awesome. On the topic of releasing music, the band recently announced a new album coming out soon. What can you tell us about Insatiable Violence?
We're very proud of this record. We worked really hard while touring, writing this record, which is the first time that we've ever done something like that. We always would just go into studio mode versus touring mode, but this time we had to do both at the same time because we wanted to release music quicker within a 2-year span. We've seen a lot of our friends, such as Cattle Decapitation, achieve massive success by releasing music consistently. It has to be good music, first off, which we aspire to do. So we definitely wanted to write an album that was more groovy, still remaining technical and brutal, but with a lot more dark elements, some more unease feeling riffs, and more melody, while remaining overall groovy. Something that would become more digestible for first-time listeners. Something that they can bite their teeth into a little bit easier versus the technicality of the Book of Suffering, let's say.
Yeah. So basically something to get people started to the band.
We're hoping to. We're still, we're a legacy band. I know that we honor the legacy. We write towards preserving the legacy, but we're still trying to be relevant in 2025.
Very nice. What was the recording of this album like, and how does it compare to the first one you did in 2008 with the band?
Ooh, it's completely different because Chris is our guitarist, is also our producer, and he has switched where he records over the years. So the first record I recorded was when he just started out. It was in his parents' garage, and he called it Studio Le Garage, which means garage in French Canadian. So that was I was nervous. I was for the first one. I turned off all the lights and like brought candles. I don't know why. I was trying to be brutal. I don't know. Now I just go live at Chris's house for a week, and our kids play together, and I track vocals all day and night, and we listen to what we track each night from what we did during the day, and rework ideas and say, oh, that little line there could be a little bit better. We can accentuate this ending a little better. So it's a much more immersive experience, which is very, very smooth, and it's always easy with Chris. He's a genius. Yeah.
Very nice. Well, hang on. Is there any particular way that you approach the creation of song lyrics and songwriting and vocals?
I write all the lyrics. It comes to me. I like to work with concepts. I have since 2012. Everything that I've written is always underneath an arc of a concept for each album. This specific one, the concept is about man's relationship with social media. I had a dream about a person that fixes a machine all day, and then at night they strap themselves into this machine and the machine tortures them, and they love it. And then they wake up the next day and they keep fixing the machine so that they can make it more efficient, so that it tortures them even more efficiently. And the name came to me in the dream, an insatiable violence. So it's basically us as humans, what we do to ourselves through our relationship with social media. I will write a caption for a post that goes out on the band's socials. I will write it to the best of my ability, tweak it a little bit, show it to Chris, show it to Flo. They tweak it, they approve it, and then we post it, and then we sit back and watch the interaction, basically torturing ourselves. So it's just a never-ending cycle of just isolation and being surrounded and presenting falsehoods to the world, even though inside we're all truly really sad and lonely.
Yeah, most people are. Hang on. Is there any songs on this album that you're particularly fond of coming up?
I like the Nimbus Adoration, which is the first track on the record, just because I wrote those lyrics first. And for the rest of the record, I was just chasing that high, that feeling that I got when I wrote those lyrics. Every other song, I was like, it's just not as good as the Nimbus Adoration. And then musically as well, it's a real banger. It's got some heavy groove elements that I'm excited to play live, hopefully one day soon.
Oh, awesome, man. Along with the new album, the band recently released a music video for the track Until There's Nothing Left. What was that experience like?
It was a cool experience. My friend is the director, Chris Kells. I grew up with him. I went to high school with him. He's worked on most of our music videos throughout the past 10 years. It was a very smooth experience. He is a super professional, so we showed up in this very old house that was basically abandoned, and it was really cold that day in Quebec, and everyone was very cold the whole time. But we got through it rather quickly, our portion of it. It was more so the actors that had to suffer the cold a bit longer than we had to. It was a smooth process. It was interesting to perform the song together for the first time, even though we were all doing it separately. It was cool. We have a new music video coming that is very disturbing that I can't talk to you about too much, but it is very disturbing, and it is coming up very, very soon, actually.
Very much looking forward to that now, damn. Hang on. Is there any way you prepared to do vocals for these albums?
I used to do like all kinds of warm-up stuff, the Zen of Screaming from Melissa Cross, and literally now I do nothing, and I just drink a few beers before going on stage, get in the vibe, and then just go out and give it, because I went and got my throat looked at by my good friend Enrico, who's the vocalist of Hideous Divinity. He's an ear, nose, and throat doctor. And when I played in Rome last year, I went to his clinic and he put the camera down my throat and I performed death metal vocals. I performed some songs, and he watched my vocals cords in action, and there's no damage whatsoever. So since that moment, I know that I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to be doing to take care of my voice. So basically, if I'm up and I've spoken all day, I'll do a little like a light humming, which leads to this tiny throat singing, and then I'm ready to go on stage. Yeah.
That's awesome, dude. Do you have any songs or albums in particular that you wished more people had discussed or talked about?
From Cryptopsy or outside?
From Cryptopsy.
From Cryptopsy. Well, There's Cryptopsy has just so many eras. It's just so interesting. I wish more people, and I think they're getting the chance to now, is exploring the releases that we had when we were independent. So the self-titled and the 2 Book of Suffering tomes, which are now, we've relicensed them to Season the Mist. So a lot more people are going to be able to get their hands on those, which makes me happy. But that's like a real turning point in the era, my era of Cryptopsy, of the band being back on track and moving forward, and with just plowing through all of that to get to where we are now in 2025.
Pretty cool. Recently, the band won a Juno Award in the category of metal and hard rock, best metal and hard rock album of the year. What was that like?
We were very surprised. We were honored to be nominated for the Juno, because a Juno basically is like the Canadian version of the Grammys, right? So we were in a category with all of our friends. Cataclysm were there, Voivod were there, Cryptopsy, Ken Mode, and Danko Jones. And honestly, I was convinced, and the rest of the guys were convinced, that Voivod was going to win, because it's always Voivod in Montreal that wins. They are a legacy band, legendary, pioneering band, and they tend to always get the recognition before we do. So we were excited and very, very honored and pleased that we were recognized by our peers for As Gomorrah Burns. Now we have to win again. That's the pressure that we put upon ourselves.
It's probably going to happen with the releases that have come off this new album so far. They're really good.
We'll see.
Yeah. As well as that, the band has been currently touring with Decapitated across the EU and UK. Is there any places in particular which you seem to accept your music and enjoy it a lot more than others?
This tour has been really incredible. There are a lot of sold-out shows, a lot of amazing crowds so far. Manchester last night was honestly the craziest crowd to date. We'll see what's coming up in the next few weeks, because we just started this tour. We're basically a week in, and it's a 6-week tour, so we're going to see what's going on over the next few weeks too.
Very nice. And before we end, is there anything else you'd like to promote?
No, just check out the new singles coming up. Get ready, June 20th, and Insatiable Violence is coming. Come on, check out tour dates if you can. It's a banger package, and we have a whole bunch of more stuff coming up in 2026.
Very nice. All right. Thank you very much for this interview.
Thank you.
Yeah.